Leading up to the start of the season, I'm releasing my top 100 quarterbacks for the 2023 college football campaign. Every week, I'm releasing 10 quarterbacks as we get closer to number 1. Last week, I talked about the quarterbacks I had ranked 51 through 60. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the quarterbacks I have ranked 41 through 50. Before we get to today's video, make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. If you're watching this video, odds are that you love college football, and odds are you aren't subscribed to my channel. So make sure to subscribe to one of the best college football communities here on YouTube. I'm posting videos every day leading up to the start of the college football season, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Also, make sure to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. After Stetson Bennett spent nearly a decade at Georgia, the Bulldogs are finally going to have a new starting quarterback in Carson Beck. He's had to wait his turn as he's been at Georgia since 2020. During his time there, he's attempted only 58 passes. He's thrown for 500 yards with 6 passing touchdowns during that run. We saw what Stetson Bennett was able to do with the helm, so if I were to guess, I think Carson Beck is going to be just fine. After spending 3 seasons at Rutgers, Cole Snyder transferred to Buffalo and finally got his opportunity to start in 2022. In his first season as a starting quarterback, he threw for over 3,000 yards with 18 passing touchdowns and 270 completions. He also added 4 touchdowns on the ground as well as 150 rushing yards. Snyder was one of only 10 quarterbacks in all of the FBS last season to finish the year with those numbers. Tyler Shough is back for one final season. If it feels like he's been around for a while, well, it's because he has. Shough has been playing since 2018 when he was suiting up for Oregon. 2023 will be his final season with Texas Tech as they enter the year with more expectations than ever before. He pushed the Red Raiders to an undefeated record as the starting quarterback, appearing in 7 games overall with 5 starts. He missed 6 games early in the season due to an injury. He's a perfect 8-0 as the starting quarterback for Texas Tech in games that he's finished. Overall, last year, he threw for 1,300 yards with 7 touchdowns, averaging just under 250 passing yards a game, as well as 300 yards of total offense per game. Jeff Sims transferred to Nebraska after a lengthy career at Georgia Tech. In 2022, Sims started 7 games before being sidelined with an injury. He threw for 1,100 yards with 5 touchdowns while adding 300 yards on the ground with a rushing score. In 2021, Sims played in 7 games with 6 starts as he threw for 1,500 yards with 12 touchdowns while rushing for 400 yards with 4 scores as well. Back in 2020 as a true freshman, Sims started 10 games and was one of the top freshman quarterbacks in all of college football. He threw for nearly 2,000 yards with 13 passing touchdowns while adding 500 yards on the ground with 6 scores. He was named the ACC Rookie of the Week 3 times, becoming the first Yellow Jacket since Calvin Johnson to earn that honor that many times. Ole Miss has quite the quarterback room for 2023. For some reason, former Oklahoma State quarterback Spencer Sanders transferred there this offseason, but I don't think he'll win the job as I have that honor going to Jackson Dart. He started 12 games for the Rebels last year, throwing for 3,000 yards with 20 passing touchdowns. He also added more than 600 yards on the ground with a rushing score as well. Dart was one of only 6 FBS quarterbacks and one of just 2 quarterbacks in the SEC to throw for 2,900 yards while adding 600 yards on the ground. His 2023 campaign ranks him 6th all-time in Ole Miss history in total offense, 9th best in passing touchdowns and total offense per play, and 10th in passing yards. He hasn't quite lived up to the expectations that came with him when he got to Ole Miss, but I think this upcoming season will be his best. As of right now, we don't know who Alabama's starting quarterback is going to be, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to call my shot and say it's Jalen Milroe. He was the backup to Bryce Young last season, throwing for 300 yards with 5 touchdowns in his limited time. He also added 260 yards on the ground with a rushing score as well. We saw flashes of his big play ability last year, so it'll be fun to see what he can do over the course of a full season if he is indeed named the starting quarterback. 5-star quarterback Dante Moore is going to be the guy for UCLA this year. After Dorian Thompson-Robinson was there for a number of years, the Bruins are going to turn to a true freshman. Depending on which outlet you used, Moore is a consensus top 3 quarterback of his class. He completed 69% of his passes his senior year of high school while throwing for 2,400 yards with 32 touchdowns. During his junior season, he completed 70% of his passes and set school records for passing yards and passing touchdowns. Overall, during his varsity career, Moore threw for 10,000 yards with 135 touchdowns. Brady Cook is back for another season as Missouri's starting quarterback. After little action in 2020 and 2021, he finally got his shot as their starter last season. He had a great debut year, throwing for nearly 3,000 yards with 14 passing touchdowns. Cook also added 600 yards on the ground with 6 rushing scores. He was one of only 9 quarterbacks in all of college football last season to finish the year with those kind of numbers, joining some pretty highly touted names including Drake May, Jaden Daniels, and Anthony Richardson. I'm not sure what we're going to get from Shedeur Sanders in 2023, but I know it's going to be pretty exciting. He spent 2 seasons at Jackson State, guiding them to a 23-3 record. He holds Jackson State records for passing touchdowns, completions, and is second in passing yards. In his 2 seasons as the starting quarterback, he threw for 7,000 yards with 70 passing touchdowns while adding 9 rushing touchdowns. In 2022, he threw for 3,700 yards with 40 passing touchdowns and only 6 interceptions. Sanders was a finalist for the Walter Payton Award as the top offensive player in FCS. We've seen what he can do at the FCS level, but we're going to have to see if he can do it again at the FBS level. Now at his 3rd program in BYU, Kedon Slovis is looking to recapture what he did all the way back in 2019 when he was a freshman at USC. That season, he emerged as one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football after throwing for 3,500 yards and 35 passing touchdowns. The last 3 seasons just haven't been great for him after that breakout year with the Trojans. Last season, during his first year at Pittsburgh, Slovis threw for 2,400 yards, his most in a season since 2019. However, his 10 passing touchdowns were the fewest he's had in a season during his 4 collegiate years. Regardless of a few poor seasons recently, Slovis is tied for 21st in passing touchdowns since the start of the 2019 season, and he's 10th in all of college football in passing yards since then as well. With a new school, I think Slovis will thrive at BYU, and look how he looked all the way back in 2019 when he was a breakout star for the Trojans. Well, that wraps it up for the 10 quarterbacks I have on today's list. Was there a quarterback who I had ranked way too high or ranked way too low? Whoever you think it is, let me know in the comment section down below. Before you leave, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. I'm posting college football videos every day leading up to the start of the season, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Also, don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.